seat.
I never
and my
imagined
mom
I'd be
says,
typing something like
"We
this.
didn't think you'd actually come."
And honestly, part of me still can't believe it
seriously?
actually happened. I try to explain,
But here we are.
and Bernice cuts me off. 6 months ago, on
Nobody
my
wants
34th
your
birthday,
excuses. Glad
my
you
wife
finally
Julie
stopped
gave
running
me
from
a
your
surprise
roots.
I'll never forget. I'm just standing
She
there
handed me
holding
divorce papers in front of her entire family.
Only Kelly offers me a
They even
spot,
had
but she's
champagne
squished at
ready
the
to
kids'
celebrate
table.
my devastation.
Uncle Lane goes, her exact
"You can eat
words.
after. There's food in the kitchen."
Surprise.
So yeah, I eat cold
I'm
mashed
leaving you for
potatoes by
someone
the
who
sink
isn't a
while they talk crap
disappointment.
about me like I'm not even
Yeah.
there.
That really
Bryce
happened.
is back. Her
Wonder how
father
long
burst
he'll
out
stay.
laughing and said, "Hope he doesn't
We
start
never thought
drama.
she'd
Actually
just don't
marry
bring up
someone so
politics."
beneath her." The
I
whole
hadn't
room seemed to
even
be in
said
on
anything,
it. A
but
sick party thrown
hi.
at my expense. Jared
I
bumps into me,
smiled,
doesn't say
calmly
sorry, just
signed the
gives me that
papers
look.
and left. I
And
asked
now,
about my room.
exactly 6 months
Mom
later,
says,
that
"It's
same
a sewing
woman
room
was
now.
sleeping in her
Your
car
stuff's in the
outside my
garage."
house,
Hands
blowing
me
up
a
my
key.
phone with frantic
3
texts,
boxes in the garage,
begging me to talk.
Random junk
But
I
let's
forgot I
rewind
owned.
a bit.
I sit on a folding
I
chair.
turned 34
scroll
last
TikTok,
Saturday,
just thinking.
Not exactly a
Why did I
milestone
come back?
birthday, but Julie,
I hear
my
laughter
wife,
inside.
soon to be ex,
Door opens.
was
Bernice
oddly
steps
excited
out and
about it.
sees me.
She
She
spent the
shakes her
week
head.
before glued to her phone.
Guess Europe changed
smiling
you.
to herself.
Can't handle
being
real family.
unusually secretive.
I say,
I figured maybe
you
she
have
was planning a
no
surprise
idea what you're
party
talking
or something
about.
sweet to
She
ease
rolls
the
her eyes,
tension
walks
that had been
off.
hanging
I go
between
back in
us
for dessert,
months.
thinking maybe things will chill
Things
out.
between. They're
Us
taking a
hadn't been
family
explosive,
photo, but that
I step
cold,
in,
quiet
Uncle
kind
Lane
of
says,
distance had settled
"Maybe
in.
sit this one out,
the kind
Bryce.
that creeps
You've
into
been
the
gone
space
so
between
long we might forget
conversations
who you
and
are.
makes you feel like a
Everyone
stranger in your own
laughs.
home."
That fake.
We'd been married
laugh.
for 6 years.
I just walk
Met
out.
in college. She
Mom
was this
says,
gorgeous,
"He's
confident
always so
business
dramatic.
major from a wealthy
That's why
family.
he has no friends." I was the scholarship
I slammed
kid
the
juggling
door,
3
but
jobs
come back
to
for my
afford
bag.
ramen and textbooks.
Jared's at the fridge.
Classic story,
He goes,
right?
"Running
Her family
away
never
again?"
liked. I
Me.
tell him,
Not
her dad,
running.
Bronson,
I just don't want to be
yes,
here.
like the villain in
He
some
shoves
bad
past
80s
me.
action movie.
Not hard,
Would toss
just
subtle
enough.
jabs at every
I don't
holiday
push
dinner
back,
about
but
my
I stare him
humble
down.
beginnings. He smirks.
Her mom would ask
I wanted to punch
condescendingly
him, but I
about
didn't.
that little job
Booked
of yours.
a room at the Holiday
Even after.
Inn. I got
Packed
promoted
my
to team lead.
boxes.
No matter what I
Mom
achieved, it was
texts,
never good enough.
"Don't make this about
Julie
you.
didn't exactly
Be
defend me
grateful we
either.
let you come."
She'd post carefully
Didn't
staged
respond.
photos
Left
of
the
our
key on the
apartment.
counter and bounced.
Our modest,
So
but
that
clean
was the
place
big
that
family
I worked
reunion.
overtime to
5
afford.
years away, and I'm
alongside
treated like a stray
captions like,
dog.
making
I used
the
to think
best of
maybe I'd
things,
move back
or
someday. Not
simple
anymore.
living, simple
And
love.
I'm not letting it go. Her
I've got a
family
few
adored
ideas
her cousin
on
Nova,
how to make them regret
who
it.
married some hedge
Not
fund
here to
guy
mope.
and lived
This
in a
isn't
mansion.
over. So
And
I
Julie
start
couldn't
noticing
help
my
but
phone's
compare.
blowing up again,
Openly.
not from my mom or Bernice.
In the months
I've
leading
got
up to
them
my
blocked.
birthday, Julie
But from
started
random
spending more
numbers.
time with her family.
And those weird,
She'd
please
come
call us
home
back
late from work
voicemails,
events,
smelling
Turns
like
out
cologne
it's the
that wasn't
HOA
mine,
board from my
smiling
mom's
at
neighborhood.
texts she
and some
never
guy
shared
from the
with
local
me.
tax office, not the IRS.
I wasn't stupid, just
I had
boring
suspicion.
city stuff. But I kept
I
telling
let it all
myself
go to
that if I
voicemail
just
because
worked harder,
honestly,
got that next
not my
promotion
circus
anymore, maybe things would
Then
get
Kelly
better.
texts me for real.
So,
My birthday rolls
says,
around.
just a heads
I
up,
had to
things
work
are
that
getting
day.
ugly over here.
Welcome to
People are
adulthood.
blaming each other, and it's awkward.
When I got
AF.
home, the apartment
She's
was
literally
empty.
the only one who
Julie
still sounds
texted me,
human, but
"Come
she's
to
not
my
getting
parents'
in the middle
place.
of it.
Your
I
surprise
don't
is
blame
waiting."
her. That
Then
was
I get
all
an
ready.
email from Jared.
Strange. All
Her
caps.
parents' place was the last
Need
place
to
I'd ever
find
choose
my
to
tax
celebrate
files
anything.
now,
But
or
I
I'm
went
going to
thinking
get
maybe
hit
she
with
was
late
trying to make
fees
peace
thanks
between us and her family.
for nothing. I pull up to their
I
mansion
checked the old
in the
Dropbox
suburbs.
out of curiosity.
Julie meets
Dude
me at the
deleted
door
half his
wearing
own
a
stuff
stuffed
by
smile
accident.
that didn't
The
reach
folders,
her eyes.
straight chaos.
The living room is full
He
of
sends
people.
like 3 more
Her,
emails, each
parents,
one more
her sister
desperate than the
Annabelle.
last.
Some cousin
Finally says,
a few family
"Fine.
friends I vaguely
I'll pay you,
recognize.
if you help."
All of them
I don't
holding
answer.
champagne
I'm
glasses.
not doing this for money.
All of
and
them
definitely
silent
not
as
for
I
him.
walked in.
In the group chat,
Julie says,
"Yeah, they started
Todd,
a new one after
we
I
have
left
something
the main
special
one.
for your birthday."
Uncle Lane adds
Then
me
her
like
dad
nothing happened.
snickers.
Literally
Bernice
snickers like
goes,
some cartoon villain.
"Well, if Bryce
and I'm
won't step
standing
up,
there
I
thinking,
guess we'll just have to
okay,
deal with the consequences.
maybe they got me a car?"
I reply for the
A stupid
first time
thought,
in
I
forever
know.
and just say,
You
"Instead,
already are."
Julie pulls out
The
a manila
wildest part
envelope
is how
from
fast
behind
they
her
all
back.
start turning on each
For
other.
a brief second, I thought maybe
Kelly
it
tells
was
me
plane
later that at
tickets.
Sunday
a
dinner,
weekend getaway
Jared and
to try
Bernice got into
and
it over
fix
who was
things.
supposed to keep track of
Then
the
she says it.
Family file. Surprise.
Jared blames Bernice
I'm leaving
for not
you for
backing
someone who
things
isn't
up.
a disappointment.
Bernice says my mom was
Silence.
supposed to remind her about
Her
the
dad
deadlines.
starts full-on
Uncle
laughing.
Lane says
Like
none
it's
of
the
this
best
would be
punchline
happening
he's
if I
ever
didn't
heard.
run off to Europe.
We never thought she'd
Voices
actually
got
marry
raised.
someone so
Somebody
beneath her,
slammed a
he
cabinet.
says.
I'm
Thank
picturing
God
it
she
like a
finally
bad
came to her
reality
senses.
show. Then things
Julie
get real.
shoves the envelope.
My mom
into
calls
my
the hotel.
hands.
Still haven't gone
Divorce
back to the
papers.
house. Already filled out.
Front desk
Just
waiting
rings
for
my
my
room.
signature.
Says, Your mother's
Then her
here
mom
asking for
pops
you.
a champagne bottle.
I say, I'm not
Literally.
available. Starts
An
pouring
hour
it for
later,
everyone
I
like
see
they're
her in the
toasting to a
parking
new
lot,
era.
pacing and yelling
It was a
into her
celebration.
phone.
I
dip
dip
out
to
the
mark
back
the
and
end
go
of
to
our
a
marriage.
coffee shop
To mock
She
me.
leaves me like 6
I don't know what
voicemails,
they expected.
ranging from please
Maybe
come
that I'd
home to
break down,
you're breaking this
beg,
family
make
apart.
a scene.
Then I get a
But
certified
instead,
letter, first time
something
that's ever
inside
happened,
me just
from the family lawyer.
snapped.
Yeah, we've
Or
got a
maybe
family
solidified.
lawyer. Not because we're
I
fancy,
looked around
but
at their
because my
smug
grandpa
faces,
set up a property
at the
trust
woman
a
I
million
thought
years
I'd
ago,
grown
and it's
old
still a
with.
thing.
And I
Letter
felt
basically says
absolutely
they
nothing.
can't do the annual trust review
I
without
asked
my
Julie
signature.
for a pen,
And if it doesn't happen,
no one gets their
smile
little
flickered.
holiday payout.
Guess that wasn't the reaction
I
she
emailed
wanted.
back.
I'm
Her
out
dad
of the
handed
country
me
for
his
the
fancy
foreseeable
Mont Blanc
future.
pen.
CC'd the whole
I walked
family
over to their pristine
I'm not,
white marble
but
countertop.
they don't know that.
Opened the envelope.
2 hours
I laid
later,
the
my
papers
mom
flat
sends a
on
group
their marble
text.
countertop.
Hope
and
you're
signed
happy.
every single
Now you're
line
hurting everyone.
without saying a word.
I reply,
The only sound
maybe
in
next
that
time you'll
perfect
remember how
icy
you
room
treated
was
me.
my pen scratching.
This is where it
across
starts
the
getting
paper.
petty. At one
Uncle
point,
Lane
someone
posted
awkwardly
something
cleared their
passive-aggressive
throat,
on Facebook,
but no one said anything.
Instead of asking
no
for
one
help,
dared.
some folks
When I was
just
done,
burned
I
bridges.
looked straight at Julie
like I
and
can't
said,
see it.
"Thanks for
Bernice
the birthday
texts
gift,
Kelly.
Best one
Can
I've
you
ever
talk
received."
some sense into your cousin?
Then
He's
I
just
walked
being
out.
dramatic. I didn't
Kelly
slam the
forwards
door.
it to me and says,
Didn't curse.
"I'm not getting involved, but
left.
damn, they're all losing
Calmly.
it." Jared tries to go
Quietly.
around me, emails
While
the
they
accountant
all
directly,
stood
says,
frozen and
"Can you just sign
confused.
off on my stuff without
Silence.
Bryce?" The look on their faces
Accountant
when I didn't
replies,
break down.
"No,
Bryce's
almost
signature
made the
is required for
humiliation worth
anything
it."
related to the
I
trust.
got
in my car and just Jared emails
drove.
me again. No destination,
This is childish.
no plan.
Just do the right thing.
I ended up at this
I
rundown
sent him
dive
screenshots
bar
from
where no
Thanksgiving.
one knew me.
I ordered a
"Nobody
whiskey."
wanted you back" line.
Then
he replies,
another.
"That was a
Just
joke."
sat there,
You take
staring at
everything
my
too
phone
seriously.
as Julie's texts
Write a
started
better joke
coming in.
next time.
Why didn't you say anything?
My mom starts,
Are you
crying to
seriously
Kelly,
not
says
going
she
to
might
fight
lose
for
the
us?
house if the HOA
You're just
fine
proving
goes
my
through.
point by running
I
away.
feel for her a little. 3
But I
drinks in,
also know she's been
something
using my name as a proxy
shifted.
on HOA
The
meetings for
numbness
years
faded.
and never
In its
actually
place
showed up.
came a cold,
Then I get a
focused
letter
rage.
from the HOA
Not
that
the kind
says,
that explodes.
"You are no longer
the kind
listed
that
as the
plans.
household contact.
The kind that studies
Your
a
mother
blueprint
must
and starts
attend the next
calculating
meeting or
where
be
to set the
fined."
charges.
I toss
What
it.
Julie and her
Not my
family
problem
didn't
now.
realize
Bernice's
was that
business
I
gets
wasn't
hit with
some
a late
helpless
fees for missing a
charity
filing
case.
deadline.
I'd been
She
married
sends me
into
a
that
text
family
that
for
just
6
says,
years.
"This
And
is
when
on
you're
you."
treated like
I
the hired
reply,
help,
You
you
learned
always
to keep
said
your
I was a
eyes open.
disappointment, so I guess
see
I'm just
things,
meeting expectations.
hear things.
The
She
accountant
leaves,
who
me on
overshares
red.
after a few drinks.
The only one who
about
actually
creative
tries to be real
bookkeeping.
is Kelly,
the cousin
We
who's
meet for
sleeping with
coffee.
her sister's husband.
She says,
Bronson's
"I
business
get why you're
trips that have
pissed,
nothing to do
but
with
they're never
business."
going to admit they were
So that
wrong."
night I did 3
She
things.
says,
I called Larry,
"They've always
my
been
old
salty
college
because
buddy,
you left,
who just so
You
happens
were the
to be the
smart
most
one.
ruthless.
It made them feel
Divorce
left
attorney in
behind,
the
even
city.
if they never said it."
I started
I
screenshotting
asked
every
her,
suspicious message
"Do you
I could
think they
find
even
from our
care
shared
about me as a
cloud account.
person?"
She just
Julie had
shrugs.
gotten sloppy.
I think they
Real sloppy.
care about what you do
I made
for
a
them.
list of every business contact
she's
and
honest.
friend who needed to hear
Then
my
the
side
thing that
of
really sets me
the
off,
story. Before she
Bernice
had the
shows up
chance
at
to
my
spin
hotel
hers.
again.
I
This
didn't go
time
home
with
that
Uncle
night.
Lane. Crashed
She
at a
tries
friend's
the guilt
place.
thing.
Woke up to a phone
You know
full of
Grandpa
panicked
would be
texts
ashamed of you.
from Julie.
The
The
smugness
family
was gone now.
We stick together.
She clearly thought
I
I'd
say,
be the one
you didn't
crawling
stick with me
back,
when I came
begging
home.
for
Lane
reconciliation.
pushes past her.
Gets in my
By
face.
noon, Larry had
Just sign the damn
already
papers
filed our
so we can
counter
move
paperwork.
on. I withdrew
I
my
say,
half from our
you
joint
wanna move
accounts,
on?
left hers
Start
untouched.
treating people with respect.
I'm not an idiot.
Bernice
And I rented a
slaps
storage
the
unit to
table.
move my
You're
essentials
impossible.
out quietly while
I just
she was
walk
having
out.
brunch with her
They
family.
stay there,
probably
arguing
laughing
with each
about
other.
how devastated
So,
I
yeah,
must be.
Things are
It's
a
been
mess.
a week since then.
I'm not budging.
I'm staying
I'm not
at
breaking
a
any
small
laws.
Airbnb
I'm not
while
sabotaging
I figure out
anything.
my next
I'm just
move.
not helping anymore.
Julie's texts
The
have
trust
gone
money's
from
frozen.
smug to
Their
confused
paperwork's
to furious.
seat in my mom
and now
says,
to desperate.
we didn't think you'd
Her
actually
last
come.
one said, "This isn't
Like,
how this was
seriously?
supposed to go." I try to explain,
Julie,
and Bernice cuts me off.
It's not.
Nobody wants
it's
your
how it is.
excuses. Glad
Larry
you finally
says I'm in a
stopped
much
running from
stronger
your legal
roots.
position than she
I'm just
expected.
standing there holding
No kids,
my
thank
bag.
God.
My name is
Only
on
Kelly
most of the
offers
major
me a
assets,
spot, but she's squished
and
at the
I've got
kids'
more
table.
than enough evidence
Uncle
of her
Lane
affairs.
goes,
You can
Oh,
eat after.
right.
There's food
Did
in
I
the
mention
kitchen.
she's been sleeping
So,
with
yeah,
her coworker
I
Ronan
eat
for
cold
months?
mashed potatoes
So
by the
much for
sink
calling
while they
me
talk
the
crap
disappointment.
about me like I'm not even there.
Now I'm planning my next
Bryce is
steps.
back.
The
Wonder how
rage
long
is
he'll
still there,
stay.
but it's not
Hope
wild
he doesn't
anymore.
start drama.
It's focused.
Just don't bring
Her
up
family thought I was
politics.
nothing.
I
Treated
hadn't
me like
even
dirt
said
for
anything
years.
but hi.
They
Jared
celebrated
bumps
the
into
end
me.
of
Doesn't say
our
sorry.
marriage like it was
Just
a
gives me that
graduation.
look.
They have no
I ask
idea
about
what's
my
coming.
room.
Has anyone
Mom
else
says,
dealt with this kind of
"It's a
public
sewing room
humiliation
now.
from a spouse?
Your stuff's in the garage.
How did you handle it?"
Hands me a key.
Because right now,
3 boxes
I'm
in the
walking the
garage.
line between taking the
Random.
high road
Junk I forgot
and
I
going
owned.
full scorched
I sit on a
earth.
folding chair
And
scroll
honestly,
TikTok just thinking,
scorched earth is
why
looking
did I
pretty.
come back?
Damn tempting.
I hear laughter inside.
Update. Door opens.
3 months later.
Bernice steps out and sees me.
Holy hell, you guys.
She shakes her head.
First, I did not
Guess
expect
Europe
my post to
changed
blow up
you.
like that.
Can't handle real
Rip my
family.
inbox. I
Thanks
say,
for the awards,
you
the
have
support,
no
and to the
idea
3
what you're
strangers
talking
who
about.
DM'd me
She
their
rolls her
divorce
eyes,
attorney
walks off.
recommendations. I go back in for
Respect.
dessert, thinking maybe
So here's
things
what's
will
happened
chill
in
out.
the 3 months since the birthday
They're taking
party
a
from
family
hell.
photo. Let's start with
I
the
step in.
bombshell. Uncle Lane
2
says,
days after my last
maybe
post,
sit this one
I
out,
was going
Bryce.
through our shared
You've
cloud
been gone
storage,
so long,
downloading
we might
photos
forget
I
who
wanted
you
to
are.
keep before Julie could
Everyone
delete them.
laughs.
That's when I found
That
a folder
fake
titled
laugh.
Work Presentation.
I just walk out.
Odd name. Mom says, especially
He's
since
always
it was
so
created
dramatic.
right around the time
That's why
she
he
started
has no
acting
friends.
sketchy. I
I
slammed the
clicked
door,
on it.
but come back
It
for
wasn't
my
a work
bag.
presentation.
Jared's at the fridge.
It was hundreds of
He goes,
screenshots.
running away again?
Texts.
I
Between
tell him.
Julie and Ronan.
Not running,
her
I just don't
coworker.
want to be here.
8 months worth.
He shoves
Cute
past
pet
me.
names, not hard.
Hotel
just
meetups.
enough. Enough heart
I don't
emojis
push
to
back,
stock
but
a
I
digital
stare him
grocery
down.
aisle.
He smirks.
Selfies of them
I
together
wanted
at
to punch
places
him,
she
but I
told me
didn't.
she was working
Booked a
room
rate.
at the Holiday Inn. Apparently,
Packed
she
my
wasn't analyzing
boxes.
quarterly reports
Mom
at 10
texts.
p.m. on a
Don't
Thursday.
make this about you.
Unless Ronan's
Be grateful
abs
we let
were
you come.
involved in the fiscal projections.
Didn't respond.
Left
I
the key
forwarded
on the counter
everything
and
to
bounced.
Larry, my attorney,
So that was the
who
big
just
family
texted back.
reunion. 5
Christmas
years
came
away,
early
and
this
I'm
year.
treated like a stray dog.
That man's a savage.
I used to think maybe I'd
I
move
love
back someday. Not
After
anymore.
the initial wave of
and I'm
shock,
not letting
I
it
made
go.
3 new
I've got a
decisions.
few ideas.
Focus on rebuilding,
how to make them
not
regret
just
it.
revenge.
Not here to mope.
Let Larry
This
handle
isn't
the
over.
divorce. No direct contact.
So I start
with
noticing
Julie.
my phone's blowing
Start
up
creating
again.
a new
Not
life
from my
that
mom
would
or
one
Bernice.
day
I've got them
make
blocked.
her regret
But
everything.
from random
The
numbers
apartment we shared.
and those weird, please
many
call us
ghosts.
back.
Voicemails.
I found a modest
Turns out it's
month-to-month
the
rental.
HOA board from
Nothing
my mom's
fancy,
neighborhood,
but it
and
has
some
some guy
guy
from the
balcony
local
where I can
tax
see the
office, not the
stars.
IRS. Just
First
boring
night there,
city stuff.
I sat outside.
I let
with
it
a
all
beer,
go to voicemail
looked up,
because honestly,
and realized
not my
I hadn't
circus
felt
anymore.
that kind of peace.
Then Kelly
in years.
texts me for real. I started
She
hitting the gym
says,
regularly.
just a
Not
heads
just
up,
things
for
are
a
getting
revenge
ugly
body.
over here.
Though let's
People
be
are
honest,
blaming
that
each
was
other,
part
and
of
it's
it.
awkward AF.
I needed somewhere
She's
to put all
literally
the
the
anger.
only one who still
First
sounds
week,
human.
I could
But
barely
she's
lift
not
a
getting
damn
in the middle
thing
of it.
without shaking.
I don't blame her.
Now,
Then I get an
I'm
email
starting
from
to see
Jared.
real definition.
All caps.
Who knew heartbreak
Need to
could be
find my
converted
tax
into
files
biceps?
now, or I'm going
As
to get
for the
hit
divorce
with late
proceedings,
fees. Thanks.
Julie
For
thought
nothing.
she'd walk away with
I
half
checked
of
the old
everything,
Dropbox
plus
out of curiosity.
Dude
She even
deleted
claimed
half
she'd
his own
sacrificed
stuff
by
by
accident.
accident.
Opportunities
folders
for our
straight
marriage.
chaos.
Larry
He
actually
sends
laughed
like
out loud
3
at
more
that.
emails.
Turns out
each
it's hard
one
to
more
argue
desperate than the last.
career sacrifice.
Finally says,
when your work hours
"Fine,
are spent
I'll
sending
pay
Ronan
you
thirst
if you
texts
help."
instead of doing
I don't
actual
answer.
work.
I'm not doing this for money.
The affair
and
evidently
definitely
was
not
our
for him.
ace. In the group
Julie's
chat,
family had
they
always
started
positioned
a new one
themselves
after I
as
left
the
the
main
perfect,
one.
upstanding
Uncle Lane adds me
pillars
like nothing
of
happened.
the community. Bernice goes, her dad
Well, if
Bronson
Bryce won't step
constantly
up, I guess
posted
we'll
on
just have to
LinkedIn
deal
about
with the
family
consequences.
values and
I
integrity
replied
in
for the
business. First time
But
in
once the
forever,
threat
and
of
just
their
say,
precious
"You
daughter's
already
affair
are."
becoming public
The
during
wildest
divorce
part
proceedings
is how
came
fast
into
they all start turning on each
they
other.
suddenly became very agreeable
Kelly
to
tells me
Larry's
later
terms.
that at Sunday
One
dinner,
strange
Jared
moment
and
stood
Bernice
out.
got into it over
I was
who
clearing
was
out
supposed
the
to
last
keep
of my
track of
stuff
the
from our
family
apartment
files.
when Julie showed up
Jared blames
unexpectedly.
Bernice for not backing
It was the
things
first
up.
time I'd seen her
Bernice
since
says
the
my mom was
birthday
supposed to
ambush.
remind her about
She
the
looked
deadlines.
different.
Uncle Lane says none
Hair
of
a
this would be
mess.
happening if I didn't
Wearing
run off to
sweatpants.
Europe. Something.
Voices got
She never
raised.
used to do.
Somebody slammed
She
the
launched
cabinet.
into this whole speech
I'm
about how
picturing
she'd
it
made
like
a
a
mistake.
bad reality show.
How Ronan wasn't who
Then
she
things
thought
get
he was.
real.
How maybe we
My
could
mom
talk
calls
about
the hotel.
reconciliation.
Still haven't gone
I just
back to the
walked
house.
past her, carrying
Front
my
desk
box of
rings
things,
my
and
room,
says,
"If you
"Your
have anything
mother's
to
here
discuss,
asking for you.
have your attorney
I say I'm
contact
not
mine."
available." The
An
look on
hour
her
later,
face. I see her
like
in the
she
parking lot,
genuinely couldn't
pacing and
comprehend
yelling
that I
into her
wasn't
phone.
falling to my
I
knees
dip out
in
the back and go to a
gratitude for
coffee
this
shop.
second chance.
She leaves me
was
like 6
priceless.
voicemails ranging from,
So here's where
"Please
things
come
stand
home,"
now.
to "You're breaking selling this
The
family
divorce is
apart.
almost finalized.
Then I get a certified
No
letter,
alimony,
first
thanks
time
to
that's
the
ever
affair
happened,
evidence.
from the family
We're selling
lawyer.
the apartment
Yeah,
and
we've
splitting
got a
the
family
proceeds.
lawyer.
I
Not
let her
because
keep
we're
most
fancy,
of the
but
furniture.
because my
I'm
grandpa
starting
set up a
fresh.
property
I've
trust a million years
reconnected
ago, and it's still a
with
thing.
some old friends. Julie
Letter basically
always
says
hated.
they can't do the
Remember
annual
my buddy
trust
Mike?
review without my
The one
signature.
she said was a
And
bad
if it doesn't
influence
happen,
because he brought
no one
grocery
gets
store
their little
wine to
holiday
dinner
payout.
instead of something fancy.
I email
Turns
back,
out he's
I'm
still
out
the
of the
same
country
solid
for the
guy.
foreseeable future.
We hang out weekly
CC'd
now
the whole
for
family.
game nights.
I'm not.
I also
But they
started
don't
that
know
business
that.
idea. Julie
2 hours
always
later,
mocked.
my mom sends a
Customizing
group
vintage
text.
furniture.
Hope you're happy.
Nothing big, just
now
something
you're hurting
I always
everyone.
enjoyed. She used to
I
call
reply.
it tacky and garage
Maybe
sale
next time
junk.
you'll remember how
I
you
made my
treated
first
me.
Etsy sale last week. This
Profit
is where it
was
starts
like
getting petty.
$27 after
Uncle Lane
expenses.
posted something
But
passive-aggressive on Facebook.
It felt good.
Instead of asking
And here's
for
where
help,
it gets
some
juicy.
folks, Julie's
Just burn
family's
bridges.
business,
Like I
high-end
can't
real
see.
estate development, hit
Bernice
some snags
texts
recently.
Kelly.
Apparently,
Can you talk
a big
some sense into
commercial
your cousin?
project lost
He's
its
just
main
being
investor.
dramatic.
Kelly
Funny
forwards
timing.
it to me and says,
I'd had lunch not
I'm not
long
getting
before with
involved,
my
but
old college
damn, they're
roommate,
all losing it.
who now works for
Jared
that
tries to
investor
go
company.
around me, emails the
Did I
accountant
mention
directly,
anything
says,
specific about
Can you
Julie's
just sign
family
off
at
on my
lunch?
stuff without Bryce?
Nope.
Accountant
Did
replies,
I accept his LinkedIn
no.
request afterward?
Bryce's signature is required
Absolutely.
for anything related to the trust.
Julie's sister
Jared
Annabelle,
emails me
the
again.
one halfway decent
This
person
is
in that
childish.
family,
Just do the right
reached out
thing.
to me last week. I send
She
him
said Julie's been a
screenshots from
complete
Thanksgiving.
wreck.
His
Ronan dumped
nobody
her after
wanted
Julie's
you back
dad
line.
tried to get him a
He
better job
replies,
at their company.
That was a joke.
Apparently, Ronan
You take
was
everything
only
in
in
it
it
for
for
the
the
family connections.
Write a better
Cue
joke
the
next
shocked
time.
Pikachu face.
My mom starts.
Julie's Instagram,
crying to
which used
Kelly,
to be nonstop,
says she might lose the house if the
updates,
HOA
has
fine
gone
goes
completely
through.
silent. I feel for her a little.
Meanwhile, I've been posting
but I also know
occasional
she's been
updates,
using my name as a
furniture
proxy
projects,
on
hiking
HOA
trips,
meetings for
nights
years
out with
and
friends.
never actually showed
Nothing
up.
showy.
Then I get a
Just
letter
real
from
life.
the HOA that says,
Her best friend
you are no
accidentally liked one
longer
of my
listed
photos
as
at
the
2
household
a.m.,
contact.
then unliked it right away.
Your mother
So,
must attend
yeah.
the next meeting or be
I
fined.
know they're watching.
I toss it.
Not
Last
my
night
problem
would have been
now.
our anniversary.
Bernice's business gets
I
hit
was
with
sitting
a
on
late
my
fee
balcony
for missing a
sipping
filing
coffee,
deadline.
scrolling
She
Twitter.
sends me a text that
I
just
actually
says,
felt,
"This is on you."
Okay, I replied.
Then my phone
You
lit up.
always said I was a
I
disappointment,
know you probably
so I guess
hate
I'm just
me.
meeting
But
expectations.
I can't stop thinking
She
about where we
leaves.
would be if
Me
I
on
hadn't
red.
ruined everything.
The only
I
one
miss
who
your
actually
terrible
tries to be
jokes.
real is Kelly.
I miss how
We
you
meet
always
for
made
coffee.
coffee for both of
She
us,
says,
even when we were
I
fighting.
get why you're pissed.
The
But they're
apartment
never
feels
going
so
to admit they
empty.
were wrong.
Ronan
She
was a
says,
mistake.
They've
My
always
family
been
was
salty
wrong.
because
I was
you
wrong.
left.
Please,
You were the smart one.
Can we just talk?
It made them feel left behind,
I'm not above
even
begging.
if they never said it. I stared at
I
that
asked her,
text for an hour.
Do you think
Typed
they
and
even
deleted
care about
15
me as a
different
person?
responses. In the
She just
end,
shrugs.
I just put my phone down and
I
went
think
to bed.
they
care
because here's
about
the
what you
thing.
do for them. 3 months ago,
At
I would
least
have
she's
given
honest.
anything to get a message like
Then
that.
the thing that really sets me
Now,
off, Bernice shows
I don't
up
even
at
know
my
what I
hotel
want.
again.
This time with
The
Uncle Lane. Anger is
She
still
tries the
there,
guilt thing.
but it's not the same.
You know,
it doesn't
Grandpa would be
consume me
ashamed of you.
anymore. This
We're
morning I woke up to
family.
5 more
We
messages
stick
from
together.
her, each
I
more
say,
desperate than the last.
You didn't stick with me
The
when I
final
came
one?
home. Lane
I'm parked
pushes
outside
past
your
her,
building.
gets in
Please
my
come
face.
down. Just sign the
Sure
damn
enough,
paper
when
so
I
we
looked
can
out
move
the
on.
window, there was her
I
white
say,
Audi
you
sitting
want to
in
move
visitor
on?
parking.
Start treating people
She was
with
just
respect.
Bernice
Sitting there
slaps
looking
the
up at
table.
my building.
You're impossible.
I closed the blinds and
I
made
just
coffee.
walk out.
What
They
would
stay
you do?
there, arguing
Part of me
with
wants
each
to
other.
hear her out.
So, yeah.
Another part of me knows
Things
that
are a
opening
mess.
that door, even a little,
I'm not
could undo
budging.
all the progress
I'm not
I've
breaking
made.
any laws.
And yeah, I'm not sabotaging
There's a
anything.
small, petty part of me.
I'm just not
one
helping
I'm
anymore.
not proud of.
The
That
trust
wants
money's
her to
frozen.
feel
What I felt that
their
day at her
paperwork's
parents'
seat,
house.
and my mom says, life is weird,
We didn't think you'd
man.
actually come. 3 months ago, I
Like,
thought my
seriously?
world was ending. I try to
Now,
explain, and
I'm
Bernice
starting to
cuts me
believe
off.
that whatever comes next
Nobody
might be
wants
better
your
than what I
excuses.
had before.
Glad you finally stopped
A lot
running
has
from your
changed
roots since my last post.
I'm just standing
I
there
moved out of that
holding
month to
my
month
bag.
rental and
Only
into an
Kelly
actual
offers
house.
me a spot,
Nothing
but
fancy.
she's squished at the kids'
Just
table.
a small 3-bedroom
Uncle Lane
in a
goes,
decent neighborhood with a yard.
You can eat after.
a yard
There's
where I
food
can
in the
finally get a
kitchen.
dog. So yeah, I eat cold
More on
mashed
that
potatoes
later.
by the sink while they talk
The
crap
divorce
about me
was
like I'm not
finalized
even
2
there.
months ago with
Price is
surprisingly
back.
little drama.
Wonder how long he'll
Julie's
stay. Family lawyer
Hope he doesn't
folded
start drama.
like a cheap lawn
Just don't
chair
bring up
once Larry
politics.
presented the affair receipts.
I hadn't
even
my
said
vintage
anything,
furniture
but
side hustle
hi.
is doing okay.
Jared bumps
quit
into
my
me.
day
Doesn't
job,
say sorry,
okay?
just gives me
But
that
enough
look.
to fund my coffee
I
addiction
ask about my
and
room.
pay for all my
Mom
streaming
says,
subscriptions.
It's a sewing room
I've
now.
even got a few
Your
regular
stuff's in the
customers
garage.
now who specifically
Hands me a
ask
key.
for my style.
3
Still
boxes in the
wild to
garage.
think people actually
Random
like the stuff.
Junk I forgot
Julie
I owned.
used to call
I
garage
sit on a
sale
folding
rejects.
chair, scroll
Anyway,
TikTok,
it was a pretty
just
normal
thinking,
Thursday night.
Why did I
I'd
come
ordered
back?
pizza and was halfway
I
through
hear
binging
laughter
that new
inside.
Netflix series
Door
everyone's
opens,
talking
Bernice
about.
steps out and
Honestly,
sees
it's
me.
mid.
She
But
shakes
I'm
her
too
head.
invested to stop now.
Guess Europe
Then my
changed
Ring
you.
doorbell went off.
Can't handle
It
real
was 11:30
family.
p.m.
I figured it was
say,
probably just
You have
a drunk
no
no
neighbor
idea what
stumbling
you're
up to the
talking
wrong
about.
house again.
She rolls her eyes,
But
but when I
walks
check
off.
the camera,
I
I go back in for dessert,
I
thinking
saw
maybe
her.
things will chill out.
Julie's car.
They're taking a family
parked
photo
across the street.
I step in. Uncle
Lights
Lane
off.
says, "Maybe
Just
sit this
sitting
one out,
there.
Bryce. You've been
At
gone
first,
so
I thought
long,
maybe
we
she'd
might
drop
forget who
someone
you
off.
are." But the car didn't
Everyone
move
laughs.
for over an hour.
That fake.
So I did what any
laugh.
reasonable person would
I
do.
just walk out.
I ignored it and went to bed. Mom says, only
He's always so
I couldn't
dramatic.
sleep.
That's why he
Not
has
knowing
no friends.
she was just sitting out there in
I
her
slammed
car.
the door, but come back from my
Around
bag.
1 a.m.,
Jared's
I checked
at
the
the camera
fridge.
again.
He goes, the car
Running
was
away
still
again?
there. I tell
Then
him,
my phone started
not
lighting up
running.
with texts.
I just don't want to be
Todd,
here.
please.
He
I know
shoves
you're home.
past me. Not hard.
I just need 5
just
minutes.
enough. I don't
I've been
push
trying
back,
to
but I
reach you for
stare him
weeks.
down.
Please
He
answer.
smirks. I wanted
I've made
to
a
punch him,
horrible
but I
mistake.
didn't. Booked
And
a
the
room
kicker,
at the Holiday
the one
Inn.
that actually got
Packed
me out of
my
bed.
boxes.
I've been sleeping
Mom
in my car
texts,
for 2 days.
Don't make this about
I have
you.
nowhere else to go.
Be grateful we let you
I went to
come.
the window.
Didn't
and
respond.
Yep.
Left the key on
There
the
she
counter
was.
and bounced.
Reclined
So that
in the
was the big
driver's seat of
family
her
reunion.
Audi.
5
The
years
same
away,
Audi her
and I'm
daddy
treated
bought
like
her
her
for her
her
25th birthday.
I used to think maybe I'd
The one
move
she once
back
called
someday.
entry level.
Not anymore.
Even though it cost
and I'm not
more
letting
than
it
I
go
made in 6 months.
I've got a few ideas.
I stood
on how
there
to make
for
them
a long
regret it.
time.
Not here to mope.
Debating.
This isn't over. So I start noticing
Of
my
me,
phone's blowing
the
up
petty
again.
part.
Not
Wanted
from
to
my
close the
mom or
blinds
Bernice
and let her
I've got
enjoy
them
her
blocked.
luxury car camping
But from random
experience.
numbers.
But I'm not
And
a
those
monster.
weird, please call
I
us
threw
back.
on
sweats and a hoodie and went
Voicemails.
outside. Turns out it's
The look on her
HOA
face when I
board
tapped
from
on
my
the
mom's
window.
neighborhood.
Rough.
And some guy from the
Smudged
local
makeup.
tax office, not the
Unwashed
IRS.
hair.
Just
Still wearing the
boring
outfit
city
from her
stuff.
last Instagram post 3 days
I
ago.
let it all go to
She
voicemail
fumbled.
because honestly, to unlock
Not
the
my
door,
circus anymore.
nearly falling out in her rush
Then
to
Kelly
talk.
texts me for real.
First thing I noticed,
The smell.
says just a
Not
heads
booze.
up, things are getting ugly
More like
over here.
stale fast
People are
food
blaming
and
each other, and
desperation.
it's awkward.
The
AF.
smell of someone living
She's
out of a
literally
car.
the only one
Second
who still
thing,
sounds human.
She'd lost a
but
lot
she's
of
not
weight.
getting in the middle of it. Julie had
I don't
always
blame
been
her.
thin, but now she looked
Then I
almost
get an
gaunt.
email from Jared.
She started talking
All
immediately.
caps.
Rambling.
Need to
half
find
crying,
my
half
tax
talking.
files now.
Took me a
or
few
I'm
minutes
going
to
to
piece
hit
it all
with
together.
late fees, thanks.
Apparently, Ronan,
For nothing.
the affair guy, hadn't
I
just
checked the
been
old
sleeping
Dropbox out of
with her.
curiosity.
He'd
Dude
also
deleted
been
half
leaking
his own
confidential
stuff by
information about her
The
family's
folders
business
straight
to
chaos.
competitors. Once
He
her
sends
dad
like 3
found
more
out,
emails.
Ronan
Each was
one more
fire.
desperate
And
than
promptly
the last.
dumped Julie.
Finally says,
Took off with a bunch of sensitive
"Fine.
data on his way
I'll
out.
pay you.
But wait,
if you help,
it gets better.
I don't answer.
I'm not doing
Julie,
this
in
for
all
money,
her
and
infinite
definitely
wisdom,
not for him.
had been
In
covering
the
for
group chat,
Ronan at work.
Yeah, they started
Altering
a new one
reports,
after I left the main
hiding
one.
discrepancies.
Uncle Lane
because she
adds
was
me like
in
nothing
love.
happened.
So when everything
Bernice
finally
goes,
blew up, her dad
well,
had
if
enough.
Bryce won't
Cut
step
her off.
up
I guess
completely.
we'll just have to
No
deal
more
with the
job at the
consequences.
family company.
I
No
reply
more
for
allowance.
First
No
time
more
in
rent
forever,
paid
and just
apartment.
say, you
She'd
already
been
are.
couch surfing.
The wildest
weeks.
part is how fast
Burned
they
through
all
every
start turning
friend's
on each
goodwill.
other. Her last roommate
Kelly tells
finally
me
later
kicked her
that
out
at
for not
Sunday
paying
dinner.
rent.
Jared and Bernice
That's how she
got
ended up
into it
sleeping in
over
her
who was
car
supposed
parked
to keep
outside
track
my
of
house.
Family files.
I asked why
Jared
she didn't
blames
just go back
Bernice
to her
for not
parents'
backing
mansion.
things up. That's
Bernice
when
says
she
my
dropped
mom
the
was
real
supposed to
bomb.
remind her about
Her.
the deadlines.
Dad Bronson,
Uncle Lane
the
says none of
family
this would be
values and
happening if I
integrity
didn't
business
run
guy,
off to Europe.
is currently under
Voices
investigation
got
for shady
raised.
financial
Somebody
dealings.
slammed a cabinet.
Turns
I'm
out,
picturing it
Ronan's
like a
leak
bad reality
exposed
show.
years of corner cutting
things
and
get
creative
real.
accounting.
My
Their
mom calls the
assets
hotel.
are frozen. Still haven't
The
gone back to
mansion
the house. Sold.
The
Front
company
desk rings my room,
circling the
says,
drain.
Your mother's here
The
asking
karmic
for you.
justice
was almost
I
too
say
perfect.
I'm not available.
I invited her inside.
An hour later,
Not because
I
I
see her
was
in the parking
considering
lot, pacing
taking
and
her
yelling
back.
into her phone.
Not even close.
I dip out the
but
back
because
and
it
go
was
to a coffee
cold,
shop.
and I wasn't
She leaves
about
me
to
like
let my
6
ex-wife
voicemails,
freeze in her
ranging
car
from
outside
"Please come
my
home"
home
to
"You're breaking this
She
family
walked
apart."
in,
and
then I get
immediately
a certified
started crying
letter.
again.
First time that's ever
This
happened.
time because of
from
how
the family
nice
lawyer.
my place.
Yeah, we've got a
looked.
family lawyer.
It's just normal
Not
furniture.
because we're fancy,
a few
but
plants
because
I've
my
managed to keep
grandpa
alive.
set up a property
but
trust a million years
compared to
ago,
living
and
in
it's
a
still
car.
a thing.
Letter basically
guess it
says
felt
they
like the
can't do
ribs.
the annual trust review
We
without
sat
my
at the
signature.
kitchen table,
And if it doesn't happen,
I made coffee.
no one gets their little
Then the full
holiday
story
payout.
came out.
I
Her
emailed
parents
back.
had pressured her
I'm
into
out of the
divorce
country for the
after they
foreseeable
found out
future.
about Ronan.
CC'd the whole
They
family.
convinced her she
I'm not
could trade
but
up,
they don't know that.
while taking half my
2 hours
assets.
later, my mom sends a
The
group
birthday
text.
ambush.
Hope you're happy.
Plan. Now you're hurting
A
everyone.
humiliation tactic.
I reply,
Their goal was to
maybe
push
next
me into
time you'll
signing
remember how
quickly,
you treated me
without a fight.
This is where
She
it starts
realized
getting petty.
within weeks that she'd made
Uncle
a
Lane
mistake. to post something
but her pride
passive-aggressive on
kept
Facebook.
her from reaching
Instead
out.
of asking for
and
help,
then she
some
actually
folks
said, "I kid
just
you
burn
not.
bridges.
I thought you'd
Like I
fight
can't
for
see
me."
it. I laughed.
Bernice texts
Not to
Kelly,
be cruel.
"Can
Just
you talk some sense into
out
your
of
cousin?
sheer disbelief.
He's just being dramatic."
She orchestrated this
Kelly
public
forwards it
humiliation
to me and says,
told me I
"I'm
was
not
a
getting involved, but damn,
served
they're
me
all
divorce
losing
papers at my
Jared
birthday
tries
party
to go around
and
me,
expected me
emails
to
the
beg her to
accountant
stay.
directly, says,
I asked
"Can
her
you
what
just
she
sign off
wanted
on my
from me
stuff
now.
without Bryce?"
More tears.
Accountant replies,
Then she said it.
"No,
She wanted
Bryce's
to try
signature
again.
is required
She
for
said
anything
she's learned her
related
lesson.
to the trust.
Grown as a person.
Jared
She has
emails
nowhere
me
to
again.
go. No job.
This is childish.
No money.
Just do the right thing.
Her expensive degree.
I send him screenshots
Useless.
from Thanksgiving,
And she wanted
His
another.
"Nobody
Chance.
wanted you back" line.
Would you
He
take her
replies,
back?
"That was a
Because
joke.
me?
You take
I'm
everything
still deciding
too
what to
seriously.
do next.
But
Write a
whatever
better
happens,
joke next
it'll be
time.
my decision this time." My mom starts
Without her daddy's
crying
connections,
to Kelly.
Julie
Says she
thought
might
maybe
lose
she
the
could
house
move
if
in
the
with me.
HOA fine
Just
goes
while we
through.
figure
I feel
things
for her
out.
a little.
I let
But
her
I
finish
also
her
know
speech.
she's been using my name
Then I
as
did
a
something that
proxy
surprised
on
even
HOA
me.
meetings for years.
I thanked her.
And never actually
I
showed
thanked her
up
for the divorce.
Then I get a
for
letter
showing
from
me
the
who
HOA
she and her
that
family
says,
really were.
"You are no longer
for forcing
listed
me to
as the
rebuild
household
from the
contact.
ground up.
Your mother must
These
attend the
past
next
6
meeting or be
months have been
fined."
hard. I tossed
No
it.
doubt about it.
Not my problem now.
But also weirdly
Bernice's business
freeing.
gets hit with a
For
late
the first
fee
time
for
since
missing
college,
a filing deadline.
I was making decisions
She
based
sends me
on
a
what I
text that
wanted.
just says,
Not what
"This
would
is on
please
you."
her. Not what
I
would
reply,
impress her dad.
"You always said I was
Julie
a
just
disappointment,
stared at
so
me
I
like
guess
I'd
I'm
grown
just
a
meeting
second head.
expectations."
Then came more tears.
She leaves.
More
Me
bargaining.
on red. She
The
said,
only one who actually
she'd do
tries to be
anything to
real is
fix
Kelly.
things.
She
We
said
meet for
she
coffee.
changed.
She
Said
says
she never appreciated
I get
what
why
she
you're
had.
pissed.
I
But
told
they're
her
never
she
going
could
to
crash
admit
on
they
the
were
couch
wrong
for one
She
night.
says, "It was too
They've
late to
always
send
been
anyone
salty
back out to
because you
sleep in
left.
their car.
You were the smart one.
But in the morning,
It made them feel left
she needed to
behind,
figure
even
out
if
her
they never
next
said
steps.
it. Steps that
I
didn't
asked her,
involve me. Do you think they
The
even
look of
care
shock
about
on
me
her
as a
face
person?
was almost comical.
She just shrugged.
I don't think Julie had ever
I
been
think they
told no in her life.
care about what you do for them.
Morning came.
At least she's
I
honest.
made breakfast.
Then the thing
Because,
that really
well,
sets me off,
That's just what decent
Bernice
people do.
shows up at my hotel again.
While we were eating,
This time with
her
Uncle
phone
Lane.
rang.
She tries
She
the
picked it
guilt
up
thing.
and, out of habit, I
You
guess,
know
put
Grandpa
it on
would be
speaker.
ashamed of you.
It was Bronson.
We're
her
family?
dad.
We
It was
stick
the
together.
first time I'd heard his voice
I say,
since the birthday
you didn't stick
party.
with me when I came
And
home.
the smugness was
Lane
gone.
pushes past her,
Gets in my
replaced by
face.
something I never expected
Just
to
sign
hear
the
from
damn
him.
papers so we can move on.
Desperation. I say,
Their real estate
you wanna
business
move on?
was tanking.
Start treating people with
Investors
respect.
were bailing.
Deals
Deals
were
were
falling
falling
through.
the table.
You're
And they
impossible.
needed help.
I just
from
walk
someone
out.
with connections.
They stay there, arguing
Apparently,
with each other.
Julie had told
So yeah,
him I've
things are
been
a
doing
mess.
well. I'm not budging.
And Bronson,
I'm not
the
breaking
man
any
who
laws.
once
Toasted my exit
I'm
from
not
the family with
sabotaging
literal
anything.
champagne.
I'm just not
Actually
helping
asked
anymore.
if I would consider
The
meeting
trust
with him
money's
to
frozen.
discuss
Mutually
paperworks.
beneficial opportunities.
Seated, my mom says,
We
I
didn't
nearly
think you'd
choked on
actually
my
come.
coffee.
Like,
Julie looked at
seriously?
me, eyes wide.
I
caught
try to
somewhere
explain,
between
and
hope
Bernice cuts me off.
humiliation.
Nobody
I
wants
told
your
Bronson
excuses.
I wasn't interested
Glad
in
you
doing
finally
any
stopped
business with
running
him.
from your roots.
But
I'm
I
just
added,
standing there
I
holding
knew someone who might
my
be
bag.
able to help.
Mia,
Only Kelly offers
the
me
woman
a
I've
spot,
been
but
seeing
she's
for the
squished
past
at the
month.
kids' table.
Just friends
Uncle
so
Lane
far, but
goes,
she's brilliant.
You can eat after,
Especially
There's
when it
food
comes
in the
to helping
kitchen.
companies
So,
rebuild
yeah,
their reputations.
I eat cold mashed potatoes by
Honestly,
the sink while they talk
it's
crap about me like
the
I'm not even
healthiest
there.
relationship I've had in
Bryce
years.
is back. Wonder how
There was a
long
long
he'll stay.
silence on the other end.
Hope he doesn't start
Then Bronson
drama.
asked for her
Just
contact
don't bring
info.
up politics.
I gave it to him.
I hadn't
Hung up,
even said anything
and
but
turned to Julie.
hi. Jared
The
realization
realization
was
doesn't
finally
say
hitting
sorry,
her.
just gives me
Hard.
that look.
Not only was I not
room.
taking her back, I'd
Mom
moved
says,
on.
It's a sewing room
She left
now.
about an hour
Your stuff's
later
in
with
the
a
garage.
backpack of essentials,
Hands me a
and an
key.
Uber to her
3
sister
boxes in the
Annabelle's
garage.
place, who,
Random.
bless her,
Junk I forgot I
agreed
owned.
to take Julie
I
in
sit on a folding
temporarily.
chair, scroll TikTok.
As she was
just
leaving,
thinking,
she turned to me
why
and
did
asked,
I come back?
Do you
I
think
hear
you'll ever
laughter
forgive
inside.
me? Door opens.
I told her I already
Bernice
had.
steps out and sees me.
Not for her, but for
she
me.
She shakes her head because holding
Guess
on to
Europe
that kind of
changed
anger
you. Can't handle
It's
real
exhausting.
family.
And I've got
I
furniture
say,
to refinish.
You
and a
have
dog to walk.
no idea what you're
Meet
talking
Max.
about.
A
She rolls
three-legged
her
rescue
eyes,
pit
walks
bull
off.
I adopted
I go
last
back in
weekend.
for dessert.
He drools
Thinking
on my
maybe
couch,
things will chill
steals
out.
my socks and follows me
They're taking
around
a
like I'm
family
made
photo.
of bacon. Best
I
decision
step
I've
in.
made in years.
Uncle Lane says,
So yeah, that's the
maybe
end of the
sit
Julie
this one out,
saga.
Bryce.
6 months ago,
You've been gone
I was
so long,
blindsided at my
we
birthday
might forget
party,
who you are.
humiliated by the people
Everyone
I once
laughs.
called family.
That
now,
fake laugh.
I've got peace.
I just walk out.
purpose, and a
Mom
dog who
says,
thinks I'm a hero.
He's always so dramatic.
Life comes at you
That's
fast.
why he has no friends.
I don't know what happens
I
next
slam
for
the
Julie,
door, but come back for my
I
bag.
hope Jared's
she
at the
figures
fridge.
things out.
He goes,
I hope her
running
family
away
learns
again?
something.
But
I
me,
tell him,
not
finally
finally living
I just
a
don't
life
wanna
I
be
actually
here.
want.
He shoves
Traveling
past
without
me.
worrying
Not
about
hard,
five-star
just enough.
hotels. I don't
Making
push back,
furniture
but I without
stare
being
him
told
down.
it's embarrassing.
He smirks.
Owning
I
a
wanted to
dog
punch
that
him, but I
sheds all
didn't.
over everything and
Booked a
loving
room
it.
at the Holiday
To
Inn.
everyone who followed
Packed
this
my
crazy story,
boxes.
thank you.
Mom
For the
text.
advice, for
Don't
the
make this about
encouragement,
you.
for
Be
calling me
grateful we
out
let you
when I
come.
needed it.
Didn't
Anyone else
respond.
ever come out the other
Left the
side
key
of
on
a
the counter
nightmare
and bounced.
So that was the big family
reunion
reunion
that ever happened to
5
you.
years away, and